The government denied it for decades. Locals whispered about it. Researchers swear it happened. The Montauk Project was more than a Cold War experiment. It was the alleged birthplace of psychic warfare, time distortion, and engineered realities. And some say it didn't end. It just changed names. On the far end of New York's Long Island sits Camp Hero and the abandoned Montauk Air Force Station. A rusting radar tower still stands like a sentinel over a deserted coastline. The fences collapsed years ago, but the stories never left. The base was officially decommissioned in the 1980s, close to the public, buried under government paperwork and military silence. But locals reported strange military personnel and unmarked vehicles long after the base was shut down. They saw men in uniforms, armed guards, and lights coming from the inside of the buildings when no one was supposed to be there. Some claim the radar dish was never turned off. Others say it wasn't a communications tower at all. It was something else, something designed for experimentation. And for decades, Camp Hero has been the center of one question: what really happened beneath Montauk? During the Cold War, the US government was obsessed with psychological warfare. This was the era of MKUltra, mind control experiments, and classified operations that were buried in shells of fake departments. As the story goes, Montauk quickly became the next evolution of these programs. Funding allegedly came from black budget channels with no paper trail, disguised under civilian infrastructure projects and public park development. Former contractors claim there were entire wings of the base that never showed up in official documentation. Rooms sealed underground, security protocols beyond a normal military installation, and strange antenna systems that had no clear function. The idea wasn't just warfare anymore. Montauk was the rumored frontier where the government crossed into the unknown. And for some people, this wasn't just rumors. It was the beginning of something darker. Local workers, soldiers, and civilian contractors began telling stories. Not loud, not public, just whispers shared among the few who saw too much. They described rows of strange machinery, rooms sealed off by reinforced doors, unmarked uniformed personnel who spoke in codes and operated at odd hours. Several people claimed they watched cargo trucks enter the base and never come out. Others said they saw men disappear after reporting for routine assignments. Over time, more rumors stacked on top of each other about controlled experiments, sudden evacuations, and hidden facilities below the surface of the base. If there was nothing happening there, why did the secrecy only increase after the base officially closed? The deeper the people looked into Montauk, the more questions they found, and the more dangerous the stories became. Preston Nichols became one of the most controversial figures in this entire story. He claimed he regained memories of his involvement in the Montauk experiments after uncovering repressed trauma. According to Nichols, he worked as part of a classified research team that operated in the shadows of the base. His story wasn't just about secrecy. It was about science that crossed the boundary between technology and the mind. Nichols described altered states of consciousness, psychic interface devices, and memories of experiments designed to unlock the human mind as a weapon. Many dismissed him. Others believed he was exposing something buried on purpose. But one thing was clear. Whatever happened at Montauk left a mark on him that he never escaped. And in his testimony became the foundation for everything that came next. Out of all the claims tied to the Montauk Project, the most infamous device was known as the Montauk Chair, a strange, overwhelming piece of technology that supposedly combined psychic triggers with advanced electromagnetic equipment. Nichols described it as a device that could amplify thoughts, broadcast images, even manipulate perception. Subjects were strapped onto the chair and placed under extreme sensory and psychological stress. The goal wasn't only to explore consciousness, it was to weaponize it. Some versions of the story claim the chair allowed remote viewing and telepathy. Others say it opened a door into parallel states of reality. The chair became a symbol of everything Montauk represented, the government reaching beyond science into something no one was prepared to control. And if the stories were true, the experiments were only just beginning. Here's where the conspiracy crosses a line most stories avoid. Witnesses and former insiders claim the experiments at Montauk eventually escalated into research designed to manipulate space and time itself. Not just psychic communication, but attempts to open portals or rips in reality. Nichols said the team used the chair to project consciousness into the future and past. Others claim the radar tower wasn't a relic of old defense technology. It was a massive transmitter used to stabilize the experiments. Strange storms, distortions, and unexplained energy spikes were reported nearby. A few even said the base caused time loops and missing time events in the surrounding town. Whether you believe it or not, one thing is certain. The story of Montauk stopped being about technology. It became a story about breaking the rules of reality. As the story goes, the government didn't want volunteers anymore. They wanted subjects. Rumors claimed children were taken, trained, and tested for psychic potential, just like in the early MK Ultra days. Nichols said these children were conditioned to unlock abilities the government believed could be controlled: telepathy, remote viewing, and even reality manipulation. The idea is horrifying, but consistent with other Cold War programs. Witnesses spoke about sealed rooms, underground dormitories, and the movement of groups late at night. The most disturbing part wasn't the experiments themselves. It was the idea that the government didn't just want weapons, they wanted minds capable of shaping the world around them. If any part of this story is true, Montauk wasn't just an experiment, it was a factory for something unnatural. This is the moment the story becomes legendary. Nichols claimed the project pushed too far, too fast, and something broke through. A creature allegedly manifested from the mind of a psychic test subject. A creature that crashed through the base and forced the project to shut down. Some versions say it was a physical entity. Others say it was made of psychic energy, a projection that took shape. After the attack, the base was supposedly evacuated and sealed. The radar tower was deactivated. The Montauk Project was over, or at least that's the official story. To the believers, this wasn't an accident. It was the moment they realized the project had tapped into something no one could control, and that was enough to end it forever. After the project ended, Camp Hero was abandoned. The towers still stand, but much of the area is sealed. Classified documents vanished. Official records don't match what locals witnessed, and the entire base became a ghost in military history. No public acknowledgement, no explanation, just silence. The perfect erasure. Some claim the base was cleaned up and scrubbed off anything incriminating. Others say the real experiments were moved somewhere else, into the mountains, into the desert, or deeper underground. If you try digging into Montauk today, you find redacted files, missing records, and contradicting timelines. It's as if the government wants you to believe nothing happened, but not too hard. A perfect conspiracy leaves just enough evidence to keep you guessing. Years later, the stories didn't fade. They grew. Books, documentaries, interviews, and whistleblowers turned Montauk into one of the most enduring conspiracy theories of the past 50 years. Something that inspired the idea of a girl named Eleven with psychic abilities being tested by the government and kept secret from the world. Stranger things, I suppose. Others believe the base still holds answers. People go there today. They take pictures of the radar tower, look for underground tunnels, and try to piece together what was left behind. The legacy of Montauk isn't that it was proven true. It's that no one ever proved it was false. The base still stands. The rumors still swirl. And the truth still hides behind locked doors and a silent tower that never stopped watching. This is Joshua Tree Encounters, where UFOs, cryptids, and high strangeness collide.